Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today it's going to probably be quite a long one, so strap in, get a snack and a drink maybe, and we're going to try and do this as rapid fire as possible because I have a lot to get through. So as you'll probably know by the title and the thumbnail of this video, I'm going to be taking you through every single book which is on my physical TBR, not including Kindle, as of the 1st of January 2025. So I'm gonna kind of try and go category by category, like genres. So if some of these are in the wrong place or aren't quite right, just bear with me. This is only like to give you it in a simpler form. So there's a couple of rogue ones that I'm just going to shove into other categories that they don't belong in. But for the most part, we're going to go rapid fire. I'm not going to talk about these too much, and we're just going to go through all the books on my physical TBR. So there's a lot. I'll try and count them all and give you a number at the end maybe. So we're going to start with general fiction and a couple of miscellaneous like war story and like one sci-fi. First I have Here One Moment by Leanne Moriarty. This is for a specific video. Next I have Harley in the Sky. This I've never heard of before, but sounds so intriguing, and again is for a specific video. Everyone Here Is Lying by Shari Lapina. This isn't for a specific video, but it's one that I've been so interested in for so long. Alone with You in the Ether has been on my shelf for so long and I keep meaning to get to it, but it just hasn't fitted into any video plans, or I've been reading other things like my 24 books for 2024 and stuff, so this is going to be part of a specific video. Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This, very similarly to Alone with You in the Ether, has been on my shelf for too long and I haven't had the chance to get to it. It's going to be part of a specific video idea, so I should get to it this year. Lessons in Chemistry I've been wanting for so long. I only bought a few months ago I think, and I am so interested in getting to this, and I believe I've got this marked for a specific video as well, so hopefully that should help me to get to it more easily. Now we're on to the two sort of miscellaneous ones. So the first one is Goodnight Mr. Tom. I did actually read this when I was younger, so this would technically be a reread. I think I want to give it another go anyway to refresh my memory, because I don't remember an awful lot about what happened. I just know about an evacuee and the grumpy man that he gets sent to live with. Then finally I picked up a book called Fractal Noise, which is, I believe, sci-fi, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit scared, but it did sound kind of interesting, so I'm gonna give it a go anyway and see what I think, and hopefully I will enjoy it. Okay, so that's it for sort of fiction and the miscellaneous ones. So now we're gonna move on to classics. So all these classics I've had for a little while, and I'm trying to set myself a challenge of, during my 30s, reading at least 10 classics, and I've read like 4 or 5 I think. So if I can get through all these ones, then I will have hit that goal, and I've tried to pick ones that I think I'm more interested in than others. So we have 1984 by George Orwell, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, Emma by Jane Austen. I love these covers. These covers are so good, and they're so cheap as well. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and finally Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Next we are moving on to fantasy. I have quite a few like series that need finishing off in this. So we have The Stolen Heir by Holly Black, and also following that The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. I need to get to that duology. Then following on likewise we have The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake and The Atlas Complex. I love this gorgeous special edition. Then we have The Brick That Is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I'm hoping that since I've left a big enough gap between Fourth Wing and this, it won't feel like a really repetitive version of the same story. Next I have To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I just read The Night Hunt by her and really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping this will be very similar. Book of Night by Holly Black. Trial of the Sun Queen, which again will be starting another new series. Rebel of the Sands, which I have earmarked for a very specific video. The Girl with No Soul, which sounds very, very interesting. Then we have All the Hidden Monsters, which I believe is kind of a mix of crime, fantasy, romance. I've stuck it in fantasy because because it has like vampires, warlock, werewolf, maybe all, I don't know. And then we have The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. This cover is so gorgeous, and my friend got me this last year for Christmas, and I desperately want to get to it. Then I have The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I really am looking forward to this read. Then we have the entire Once Upon a Broken Heart series, so Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After, and A Curse for True Love. I'm so excited to get to those, and I finally finished Caraval, so now is the perfect time. Next up I have another trilogy, which is the Lightlark trilogy. So we have Lightlark, Nightbane and Skyshade. Then I'm assuming this comes under fantasy, I don't really know. It's Vicious and Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. It's about superheroes, I believe, so I stuck it in fantasy, correct me if I'm wrong. And then we also have Akhtar, so the whole Akhtar series, so A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, and A Court of Silver Flames. And then lastly, what I believe is the final fantasy is Compass and Blade. I haven't heard anything about this one really, and I'm so intrigued. It sounds really good. Now we are moving on to mystery thrillers. So I have The Appeal by Janice Hallett, also The Twyford Code by Janice Hallett. I have Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I'm not the biggest Frida McFadden fan, but I'm willing to give this one a go. Then I have Getting Away with Murder, which I read the other Karen Foxfield books last year, and well, I think 2023, and I enjoyed them, and so I'm intrigued to see where this one stands. Then I also have a couple of Agatha Christie's, so we have Murder in Mesopotamia. I've been avoiding this book like the plague. Then my other Agatha Christie's are Lord Edgware Dies and The ABC Murders. We also have The Cloisters, The Trap, The Villa, I believe my first Lisa Jewell book, which will be The Truth About Melody Brown, Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. Two books I hadn't heard of before but I'm very intrigued by because of how they are designed is The Turn Glass, which I believe is like half one way, half the other, and then The Housekeepers. Then we have Do No Harm, which was a gift that actually sounds quite interesting, and I have this earmarked for a certain video, so hopefully I should get to that pretty quickly. 12 Motives for Murder, which I saw in a charity shop and thought sounded quite interesting, so we will see what I make of that. The Midnight Game just sounds like a short, fast-paced bit of fun. Then we have The Hike, which sounds so interesting. The Short Straw, which I got at the same time along a similar vein, I thought sounded interesting and I've not really heard anyone talk of. And then Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. I have never read a book by her yet, I don't believe, so this one will be a good start, I think, because this tends to be quite widely loved from what I hear. Then a couple of older ones on my shelf, so we have Tell Me No Lies by Lisa Hall. Then we have Marion Lane and The Deadly Rose. This is the sequel to Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder. I read that, so I need to get to this. Then we have a few like YA ones, I believe, so they're Vicious Games and Thieves Gambit. This book I've had for about a year and I need to get to it, and it's earmarked for a specific video, so that I should. Then we have You'll Be the Death of Me. After this one it will only have been The Cousins and Such Charming Liars, which I won't have read. Such Charming Liars I do own. I will be showing that literally next. And I don't really have any interest in The Cousins. Her books are fine, but like they're just like palette cleanser, quick, easy reads. They're nothing 5-star groundbreaking personally. Whilst we're on the topic, I have Such Charming Liars on the physical TBR as well. I am quite intrigued by the plot of this one, I will admit, so maybe I'll probably get to this one first, even though it's newer. Then I have How to Survive Your Murder. This I don't think I'd ever heard of before, but the cover intrigues me and I'm definitely willing to give it a go. I love a good YA mystery thriller. Then we have Games Untold by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I love the puzzle aspects to these, so I will keep going until I personally get too bored. And then finally for mystery thriller I have The Last Devil to Die by Richard Osman. Look, I need to get to this like so soon, but I also am scared because it's the last one that's out and I've flown through the others and I don't want it to be like over without another one to read, so I might spread this out a little bit. I haven't decided yet, but it's one book to like get caught up on the series, so it's not that much. Okay, now moving on to our final category, thank God, which is romance. I have a few Lynn Painter books, so I have The Do-Over and Mr. Wrong Number. Then I have Funny You Should Ask and Once More with Feeling, both by Elisa Sussman. I have Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. This is for a specific video, so hopefully I should get to that this year. The Long Game by Elena Armas, which was gifted to me, so it's not like top of my priority. Similarly, How to Fake It in Hollywood was also gifted and not something that I've like sought out myself. We have The Roommate and the Intimacy Experiment by Rosie Dannon, again gifted to me. Probably not necessarily my sort of thing anymore, but they'll be good palette cleansers to try and see how I feel. We have The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I really enjoyed Weather Girl by this author, so hopefully I will enjoy this one as well. 5 Feet Apart, which I've seen the film, which I think is why I don't reach for the book, because I know this will just be such a quick, easy read, and I already know the story, so I won't even have to pay like full attention. But I'm the sort of person that once I've seen a film or a show, I won't read the book, so I always have to read it first, but we'll see. There's a chance that I could get to it. Next we have The Absolute Brick, which is Binding 13, again gifted to me. I don't know if this is going to be my thing, but we'll see. I'm willing to give it a try. Next, a few of the oldest ones on my shelf from the romance genre. So we have It Must Be Love, which was going to be part of a video last year, but I scrapped it, although it could be part of that same video idea this year if I decide to redo it. Just Haven't Met You Yet, along a similar vein. I picked this up because I saw it advertised when I was first getting back into reading. Then we have As Far as the Stars and After the Rain. These two both I picked up because the covers are gorgeous and they sounded quite interesting, like a bit more than just a typical romance. These are earmarked for specific videos. Hopefully I get to them this year. Also, I should just clarify, just because things are put to one side in my mind for a specific video, these things can change and these videos may not work out or things, so bear with me. If I say that I'm going to read a book, don't hold me to it. Then we have another Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is Little White Lies, Things We Hide from the Light and Things We Left Behind. I want to try and get to both of those this year to finish that series off. Crossed by Emily McIntyre. Then we have my entire Elsie Silver collection, even though I've never read a book from her yet. I'm pretty sure I will enjoy it. So we have Flawless, Heartless, Powerless, Reckless, Hopeless and Wild Love. Then we have Dream On by Angie Hockman. When I first got back into reading, I really adored Shipped by this author. If I read it now, I don't know if I would still feel exactly the same. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, but I'll give it a try. And then I want to get better at DNFing books if I'm not enjoying them this year. Then we have Maybe Meant to Be and What Happens After Midnight by Kale Walther. I absolutely adored The Summer of Broken Rules. I'm hoping these are going to be just as good. Next we have my entire Al Kennedy section. So we have The Chase, The Risk, The Play, The Dare and then The Graham Effect. Look, I don't know if I'm going to read the whole of whatever series this one is a part of, but I do want to read the Briar series and the first one of whatever the Graham Effect series is. We have My Dark Desire. I didn't mind My Dark Romeo. I think this book might be my favourite because the guy is the least dislikable. And then 1,000 Broken Pieces because 1,000 Boy Kisses broke my heart and I didn't realise a sequel was coming out, but since it has, I'm going to read it. Also, that one has gorgeous sprayed edges. Now we have First Down and Breakaway by Grace Riley. I believe this one is like ice hockey, which, you know, I love figure skating, gymnastics, acrobats, circus, ice hockey, any of that sort of thing I enjoy. And I think this one is football, so yeah, well, American football. Addicted to You, this has been on my shelf for so long, I don't know if I'm going to love it, but everyone talks so highly about it and raves about it. So I am intrigued to try the series and see how I get on. Then we have The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I've been wanting to read this for so long. I didn't want to pick up the sequel yet because I'm trying to be better about that and read the first book first and see what I think. But it sounds like it could be more emotional and hard-hitting, which is what I personally prefer in a romance, and less smut heavy. Then we have this gorgeous special edition of One Last Shot. Even if I don't like this book, I'm keeping it because the cover and that is just stunning and absolutely gorgeous. I have The Start of Something, which has been on my shelf for probably over a year, and I have this earmarked for a certain video so that I can just get it done and off of my shelf. Solitaire by Alice Oseman. I'm so excited for this because I love Tori, and I think I will just resonate with this book so much. And I also have this earmarked for a video so that I can make sure that I get to it. And then last but not least, we have A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. I did not like the first book in this series. I have them all, so I'm going to try them all. I don't know if this will be for me, perfectly honestly, because the first one wasn't, but we will see, and I'm willing to give it a try. There you have it. That is every single book on my physical TBR as of the 1st of January. I do have 3 books waiting to be delivered. That is Belladonna, Foxglove and Wisteria. So I will probably include those in this total. And then we'll just pretend that I said about them in the fantasy section. So I will try and leave a number on screen of how many books this is and try and count them. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry it was a bit long and rambly and chaotic. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you in another video very soon.